Hey people, you know how we're all, well, everybody is either talking about the Iran-US thing at the moment, yada yada. Um, and usually I'm kind of jumping here, there, and everywhere, and if I see something that might be of interest, I have a look, and if it's not, I ignore it. And if it is, I continue on with it. And I came across this particular website today, and I need to share because I was listening to an interview here, and where I've actually stopped it, which you can't see, it's like, oh God, I can't even see it because of there. It's approximately at the 40-minute, if you start listening at the 40-minute mark of the interview. But my suggestion to you is to listen to the whole lot because it's very interesting. But at the 40-minute mark of this particular video, something very interesting is said, especially with what's going on with Iran at the moment. I'll play it for a little bit because obviously I don't know if I'm going to get hit with copyright or what, but I'll play it for a bit. And yeah,
go to European cities where Wahhabi and Salafist mosques are being founded on a weekly basis to see how the Saudis are exporting.
That's right. They are funding. That's come out. They've even openly suggested it. Hey, we'll fund, and they do fund mosques in the West, in Germany, in Sweden, all these places. They're quite open about that, about the takeover.
I don't see mosques in Europe with the portrait of, Ayatollah Khamenei up there, or militant Shiaism being funded in Europe by the Iranian government or in the United States. It's Sunnis based in Saudi Arabia. They're doing that, who have been chosen by the United States as the de facto guarantors of peace and security in the region, to the extent that Donald Trump, in his infinite wisdom, last year referred to the Persian Gulf as the Arabian Gulf in his policy speech on Iran. That's how much he is catering to these Wahhabis and Salafists that he did a sword dance with a few months after he assumed the presidency.
Yeah, I remember that, holding the orb and all that weird stuff. It's kind of funny looking at that. Now, of course, I mean, Iran hasn't played ball in a lot of these things. They have, it's one of the countries that don't have a central bank. They have had some very, well, I mean, it goes against the what should we call it? What's the correct wording here? Against the
neoliberal world
the
order.
Truths of our times, right? They've actually held conferences on revisionist topics and all these kinds of like off the wall kind of stuff that you're not you're not allowed to do that. There is a lot of antagonism between, as you said, the liberal world order, this new structure that's arising. Some people call it the New World Order, and Iran has not been willing to like just be absorbed into that or be.
Did you hear what the topic is? Iran is not wanting to be a part of the New World Order. Keep listening. There's another country that pops up.
Again, although there has been, yes, takeovers and coup in Iran in the past, it's not totally under their control and haven't been, right?
So this is a good segue to answering the first part of your compound question that you asked that had to do with this story that the Israelis were attacking sites in Syria, but they were actually Iranian nuclear sites in Syria.
Yes.
So yes, Iran is outside this neoliberal world order, okay? But Iran is not just outside of this neoliberal world order as an isolated nation, like North Korea, for example. North Korea is also outside the, establishment. It also flouts the global establishment and doesn't adhere to international norms. But Iran is a completely different case from North Korea because it has managed effectively to build a fifth Persian empire.
Did you hear that about North Korea and Iran? Anyway, I thought it was interesting that would come up. I suggest, like I says, you pop over to, I'll leave a link to this website in the description if they don't hit me for copyright just playing that little portion. But the interview here is very, very interesting. Like I said, my suggestion is you listen to the whole lot. But I just found it very, very interesting that, again, two countries don't want to play with the New World Order or the one world government. And both have been poked and prodded, as we can see now. Iran, before Iran, was North Korea. So I'm going to leave it at that, and before I go, I will show you. This is where I'm listening to it. It's redice.tv. They are also on DLive and other places. There you go. BitChute, LBRY. I'm not familiar with that. DLive, Twitter, VK, whatever that is. Redice members. Da da da. Anyway, that's where I'm actually listening to this. So yeah, pop on over and have a listen for yourself. But like I says, I mean, I'm only there at the 42 minute mark where that came up in. So if you want to hear it for yourself, that's where we're at. Started off at 40 minutes, and yeah, I stopped it at 42.50. But very interesting to know that North Korea got poked, Iran is being poked, and they're not compliant to the New World Order. Anyway, have a good one, folks.